Hello, I'm Patsy Miller. I'm a volunteer with the Martin County Historical Society. We're happy today to have as an interviewee Mr. Melvin McCandliss, a native of Martin County who is also an inventor. We're going to look forward to hearing his story. Sit down. Okay. Tell us about your early years, Mr. McCandliss. You're a native of Virginia.
Actually, I was raised around in Martin County.
So,
I was born in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.
okay. But your early years were spent in the islands?
Most of the years, yes.
Most of the years.
I spent some time as a service brat when I was with my parents. And that was probably 8 or 9 years. Then the rest of the time I spent most of the time down in Martin County.
What brought you back to Martin County?
I love this area.
You love this area.
Sure.
You have a love for hunting,
Yeah,
fishing,
fishing.
and your professional years were?
I was a instrument electrical supervisor in the warehouse for 35 years.
That's right here in Martin County.
Yes.
So that led you to what, this super invention you have. Tell us a little bit about your MCD invention.
Well, what it is, the MCD stands for Magnetic Collar Deactivator. And what happened was me and my friend 4 or 5 years ago kept on saying, why don't they come out with something to eliminate these little magnets? So you have to use these magnets, in a collar.
And a radio collar.
Yes. You have to put them in here, like so, and there's an O-ring right there, and it turns around, and you have to hold it in place.
Right.
And in order to, every time you put one in there, you have to check it with this receiver to make sure that it's off. So it's aggravating is what it is. And I got to thinking about it, and what I did, I went over to Ag Supply and picked up one of those retriever magnets, and just laid it next to it, and I said, well, why can't I make something that'll hold 8, 9, 10, 12 collars? Now this particular one here will hold about 9 collars. But I also got one made that'll hold 14 collars.
So you're making them for sale?
Yes.
So what's inside that column, that white column?
A magnet.
And what size magnet is it?
I've been told that I shouldn't divulge that.
Oh, okay. It's a big magnet.
That's a fair size magnet.
Okay. What is it designed to do?
It's designed, what it basically does is a magnetic field that it produces. It comes out here, and it also comes out here, but it's a lot stronger out here. And basically all you're doing is, because inside that collar is what they call a reed switch. And that reed switch is like a mercury reed switch. And the magnetic field causes it to activate it and cut the signal off when you got that magnetic field around it. Of course, when you take it off of it, the signal automatically comes on.
What's the purpose of a radio collar, dog collar?
To keep up with your dogs.
At what sport is this?
Deer hunting, coon hunting, any kind of hunting.
Any hunting that involves dogs?
That's correct.
And you have a great love of dogs.
Oh yes, I've got 8 hunting dogs and 3 house dogs.
And they live mighty good.
They live, like I told you the other day, they eat more than I did when I was coming along.
And one of them has a little air conditioned unit.
Oh yeah, I fixed up an air conditioner too. Not an air conditioner like you see, I just took the vent, come down on top of the dog box. So during the summertime, when it's real hot, she's a little old rat terrier anyhow. So, but I've always loved dogs.
And your favorite one is Dimples.
Yep.
Why is that?
I don't know, she got that thing about her. That she's just a little different than the
The
rest.
personalities?
Yeah. She's kind of a little bit on the shy side, but then around me, she's not. Around somebody else, she is.
Well, the invention deactivates a radio collar, right?
The invention deactivates it, that's correct.
Okay. Tell us now about what those benefits are. They're about 8.
Yeah. Well, one of the benefits is this magnet right here. If you go back from a hunting place that sells hunting stuff, it costs you about $2. In a normal season, I'll lose 20 of them, so that's $40 right there. I mean, every hunter does the same thing I do. You just can't keep up with it. And all
And a typical radio call.
right,
Okay.
right. And let me kind of show you what's both ways. I'm gonna turn this receiver on, so when it comes off of this thing, you hear it beeping. And like I say, normally I put it back on, but I put this magnet in there. You gotta cut it off too, but you got to hold it in place with something. Most of the time, these rubber bands, over a period of time, they'll deteriorate. And when they deteriorate, the magnet will fall off. And then it will keep on beeping, you won't know it.
So the idea is to replace the loose magnet in the O-ring,
Right,
which sometimes will deteriorate throughout from one
Right.
season to the
that's
next.
correct.
And the risk of losing those magnets, loose magnets constantly. So this solves a lot of problems.
Well, yeah, and there's a couple more, you know, if you think about it for a minute, particularly when you're catching dogs at night, you can't see what you're doing. Well, with this thing here, you don't really have to see nothing, you can stick it on top of it, you know. And it actually saves money in the long run from the standpoint of having to buy these here. And the fact that you won't lose your collar. I mean, it was, you know, the band won't come off of it accidentally or how it comes off.
So it eliminates the magnets,
Right.
eliminates the O-ring, and what else? What other benefits?
Well, it has it's lightweight, you know what I'm saying? So it's not something that's too heavy and too bulky. So you can pretty well carry it anywhere you want to. And I know I wrote some things down on a piece of paper, you know, and I can't think of all the different things, but there are all other reasons.
May I remind you of those?
Yes, please.
Okay. How about that eliminates having to turn on a receiver?
That's right. That's every time you put this magnet in there, in order to make sure that that collar is dead, you have to turn the receiver on to make sure it is dead. With this here, you don't have to do that.
And how about the mistakes that hunters make?
Yes, in other words, a lot of times when a hunter's, like say I got 9 collars here or whatever, and when I get ready to put them on my dogs, you'll make a mistake every now and then and leave the magnet in it. So if you leave the magnet in, you can't track the dog. And in fact, my friend Jerry, you know, all these things have got different frequencies. So what you try to do is get a different frequency. But occasionally there's so many people, hunters, that's got them, you might be tracking somebody else's dog. And I think in his case, when he told me he had tracked his dog that morning, and I looked for that dog for a week, couldn't find him. And then when I did find him, the magnet was still in the collar. But what he was doing, he was tracking somebody else off collar.
Somebody else's dog.
Right,
So it helps you get your dog back.
yes, definitely,
And it helps any hunter who has
yeah.
this unit.
And another thing too, you know, most people got just enough magnets to take care of their own collar. Here's a case in point where if you want to catch somebody else's dog, then most people do, you can just turn around and keep right on stacking them on here without having the extra magnets.
So you've got a relay station right there, ready to go. Okay, and eliminates your battery drain during the hunting season.
That's correct. In other words, what happens is, a lot of people, when they get their collars, they won't put the magnets in them, and they'll just lay them somewhere. And then they might leave them overnight. This case, just as soon as you get a hold of it, you put it on here, no more power, no more drain.
And how about interference? It eliminates interference.
Yeah, when you have a collar, say from the left, I took 2 of these collars, I had one over here and head over here, and what would happen is, I can't track, when these collars got the magnet out of it, I can't track any other collar. It'll just sit here and static and all this other stuff will be on here. So I really can't track it. And in fact, when I'm hunting down the river, before I've had to take the collar, put it on the bank, and go down the river a little ways so I could continue to track some dogs because of the interference. So the interference, that's what the interference is that once you stick it on here, you can keep right on tracking.
Okay, well, how about the kills any output signal? Have we discussed that?
The output signal,
These
yes.
simple magnets to kill output signals when you're tracking someone else's hunting dog.
Yeah, but what it is, I mean, the position of the magnet in that thing, you have to have it in a certain position, you just can't stick it in there anyway. And that's one of the reasons that you have to have this receiver every time you do it.
Okay.
Well, if you think about it for a minute, you know, if you got to take the receiver every time you do that, I mean, it's time. You know, I can be hunting and enjoying myself rather than doing that. So that's where that comes in.
As an addition, for a conventional dog collar, you have to, if they are recharged professionally, what is the cost there?
Normally, it's a $75 charge to put another battery in it.
So that could occur, that might occur several times a season.
Oh yeah, in fact, a friend of mine, he had a little sapper that he put them in, and he put it up for a year. And guess what? The mice got in there.
Oh,
Shoot the O-rings and things. So he wound up having to replace 3 of his. So that was, 3 times 75. So
That's pretty pricey then.
yeah.
So anybody interested in hunting with these dog collars could call you, could they not?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now these collars, this collar right here is about $135. They do sell them. In fact, I've got one on here, this white one over here. It's $150.
Why is that?
Well, one is a little bit, this one got a little more warranty on it. It's got like a 3-year warranty, and this one over here got like a 1-year warranty.
What's the difference in the 1-year and the 3-year warranty?
In fact, they'll replace it if the battery does go dead.
It's replaceable sooner.
Right.
Okay. So where did this inspiration come from?
I just got tired of messing with these things right here, and I said I would pay good money for one of these things if somebody had paid them on the market.
A dedicated hunter would find this attractive.
Oh yeah.
So necessity is the mother of invention, I guess.
Yeah. In fact, I had a call the other day from I don't know, you're not familiar with the website, but it's called the Buzz's Roost. He sells all kinds of tracking collars and different things, and he wants to talk to me about these. So I'm gonna go have a conversation with him tomorrow.
You have a website.
I don't, but he does.
You gonna probably work with him
I think I will work with him because he's worldwide. I mean, it's
nationwide.
nationwide and worldwide.
We have a pretty large area of for hunting here, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
And I believe you said the fishing has more regulations than hunting,
The regulations for fishing are,
discouraging you.
I just say not even good, to be honest.
Too much trouble. Mhm. Well, do you have a patent on this?
Yes, I do.
When do you think it'll be completed? The patent process will be.
Well, what you do is you get a patent pending, and normally you have to, within a year's time, within that year's time, you go ahead and apply for the other extended patent, which is another 19 years. The patent is for 20 years total.
Right.
So if you, on this here one in particular, I put a little thing on here with the patent number on it and
Right.
everything. But now, on this one over here, I did it a different way, just to save a little money. I did a stamp.
Stamped it into the.
Stamp it into it.
What kind of base is that? That
It's
allows you
nothing but PVC.
PVC.
Yes.
Just like that tower's
That's
PVC.
correct. That's correct.
So if a person wanted to contact you, what would be the number they could use?
They could, my cell phone number, which is 252-809-2385.
Okay, that's good. So you have been working on this device for a number of years, have you not? How long did it take you?
Probably for about a little less than 2 years. Because I've used one I made for myself before I even started thinking about doing it, from
It's a retail.
right.
So any hunter would be made happier to own a collar like
I'm
this.
sure he would. In fact, most everybody, every hunter, that's what encouraged me really. Because when I was working on it, there's a few people that come in, my farm's there, they would look at it and they say, man, that's great. I like to have one of them.
The bird hunters and bird dogs use these collars?
Bird dogs, they gone pretty well to GPS, but they do have those collars.
What's the GPS?
That's the one that they do the satellite thing. But
It
you-
does what you're calling it.
Well, actually, yeah, it does a little butter, but it's, the battery drain on them or this thing here can stay gone for a month or two
I
and
see.
still be giving the output signal where the GPS won't do
That's incredible.
it.
Well, you've done quite a thing for yourself here. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about your personal life at this point. You've done a very good job explaining your invention. So just relax a little bit, and we'll talk about your dog loving life. Your wife is Janet
That's correct.
Pate, who's a homemaker.
That's right.
Tell me about your 2 children.
My son, he's a lawyer, prosecutor. He was a prosecutor. He's got another job now. He was a prosecutor up in Arlington, Virginia. He's still in Arlington, working with the county of Arlington. So, and he's been up there for about 10 years now.
His name is
Jason.
Jason.
And my daughter, she's a nurse. And she lives just across the road from me.
Here in Martin County.
In Martin County.
Is she married?
Yes, she's married to Hardison, Stuart Hardison.
You have grandchildren?
No, I got grandpuppies.
Well, I can't tell you how much you're going to enjoy those grandchildren when they start coming along.
Yeah.
It'll be a hard. You'll find a place in your heart for them.
Oh, yeah. I already got a place for them.
You got so much love to give to your pets. So you were educated in Jacksonville High School and then got married.
That's correct.
And you've been working your background is in electrical superintendent,
Right.
and it contributed to your knowledge of inventing this wonderful dog collar. So hunting deer with the dogs is your favorite pastime.
That's mine.
You ever hunt on a stand or do you hunt on the ground?
I do, but I don't do it as much as I used to.
Which do you prefer?
I'd rather hunt. Yeah, I'd just rather hear the dogs. I just rather hear the dogs. I really don't have to kill anything. That's not my thing. But I love to hear the dogs, particularly my dog.
And how do you get them back?
That's how I get them back. With this thing right here. This thing right here gets them back. But now I have a boat that I use on my truck. I have a high-pitched horn that I get them used to. And if they're not hunting, I can put a well blow their horn and they'll come to me when I'm on the water or down.
So they don't have to have on a collar. They respond to this horn.
That's correct.
Okay. So you spend a lot of time with them. How do you get them so well trained?
Well, you do. I mean, they're kind of like I don't know what you want to call it, something like they get used to doing something one way, and they keep on doing it. I mean, and so
You train them the
that's
right
what I
way.
like. That's what I like about dogs. I mean, they don't talk back to you.
I understand. So they are creatures of habit,
That's right.
just like we are.
That's exactly right.
So they do what they do to please you, because you're the master.
And all of them have characteristics,
Yeah.
different characteristics.
Yeah.
Not one of them is the same, I'll assure you.
Yeah, right.
Some bad characteristics,
Yeah.
some good characteristics.
There are a number of hunt clubs in your community. Tell us about Diamond City and Lucas and Bull Run and Janesville Hunt Club.
Okay, Bull Run and Carolina Hunting Club is basically on the river. That's why I keep on telling you about having me run down and put the collar up. Didn't hide this thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's Nature Conservative land. They actually lease it to the hunting club.
That's owned by the state of North Carolina.
Yes. And then Diamond City, which I belong to, that's actually warehouse land that's leased for hunting. So that's the 3 clubs I belong to, and that's basically where I do most of my hunting.
How about the Janesville Club? Where is that?
That's also part of the island, what we call the island,
Diamond City.
but it's on the James land,
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right,
But it's along the river.
that's correct. That's correct.
Well, it's a community named the Islands, right?
Right. With that, well, see, the islands are just nothing but, the water stayed up so high for such long, and it made these ridges, like a ridge. So all the land that's being tended back there is basically, just ridges.
Reclaimed land, sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Everything kind of runs like east to west, you know what I'm saying?
So does it overflow much anymore?
Not like it used to. They, most of the time, this time of year when the rock season, they'll turn loose of right much water so that the rock can come up the river.
So the dam is located where?
In, the Kerr Lake,
What, is there a dam at Roanoke Rapids?
on the Lake Gaston is,
And Carr Lake all the same?
Right,
Okay, so it comes into the Roanoke River
right.
and down
Right.
this way.
And it's, you know, it's pretty well, they control it fairly well. I sometimes wish they could do a little better job, but they, depends on how much rain you get up in the mountains.
So they control it based upon the accumulation
Right,
of
that's
water.
correct. Right. I mean, they have to let it go sometime, you don't have any choice.
Well, the dam can't stand it so much stress, right?
That's right.
Okay. So how often do you typically hunt?
I normally hunt, twice a week. And you could probably go ahead and put another 2 or 3 days of looking dogs or whatever.
And dog
So I
catch.
ain't really hunting, I'm just dog catching. I dog catch more than I do hunting, I'll be honest with you.
What's the hunting season here in Martin?
Normally runs around the 15th of October till the 1st of January.
Well, it certainly sounds like you enjoy your dogs and your hunting. So, in addition to petting them and feeding them and pinning them, tell me about the dogs.
Well, I've got 6.
Ding and Dip and
Yeah, I've got Handsome, Big Mac, Dora,
2 foot,
yep, 2 foot,
Shy,
Shy. Anyhow,
1 eye.
all of them, you know, those dogs, these dogs I keep shut up all the time. And I got 2 other hunting dogs, Dimples and Jake. I don't keep them shut up.
There are house pets
No, they're outside pets.
outside, but you have a house
But I have
pet.
three inside.
3. Does your wife enjoy
Right.
having a dog as pets?
Oh, yeah.
She have to
Look,
have them in the house.
look what she does, she cooks for them dogs, and you won't cook for me.
Well, I see who's got rank in that family. How much do you charge for these dog collars, your invention?
These units right here, I'm selling for $75.
And so you are going to be operating as a retailer.
Yes. For a while. Now, I have a company I hired.
I beg your
I
pardon?
have a company that I have hired
Yes,
to promote it for me.
yes. And the name of that company is
It's
New Product Help?
newproducthelp.com. And I've signed a contract with them for 2 years. That's one reason I can't divulge a whole lot about it. I can show it, but I can't.
Well,
I didn't realize that either.
Sure, you can't tell everything you know. It's been such a nice day hearing your story and getting acquainted with you, Mr. McCandliss. We're happy to have you as our neighbor in Martin County.
I want to thank you for the interview.
Much success. And call Mr. McCandliss, you hunters, who need a delightful experience hunting with your dogs. Thank you.